So wait. So let's talk about Sapphires though, your party, which is you've been doing that for like almost 10 years, right?
8 years.
8 years.
September 8th, 2013.
It's Since Sundays.
We've had everybody DJ from, pretty much, you two.
Yeah.
You've
Five.
been there.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Little
on a
John,
Sunday.
yeah.
Sunday is crazy.
I gotta go.
Yeah. All of our homies have DJ there.
Yeah.
Every celebrity has pretty much been there. I was just listening to the podcast and you said you were there. You were there for the A-Boogie night, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was.
So you were there. It was you, me, and Marty Play.
Yeah.
Travis Scott was there. Nelly was there. Trey Songz was there that same night. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing else going on, and when people know it's the party, it's the only real Sunday party going on. Then it's just lying down the block, hip hop police there.
Damn, the hip hop police.
Yeah,
man.
hip hop police.
Yeah,
man.
but like kind of break down like when you started that party, right? It was very weird to bring nightlife people to a strip club. No?
Yeah, it was a task. When we had a meeting to kind of talk about it, I didn't see it yet. There was no 11 at the time. So people always like, oh, it's like 11. I'm like, no, man, 11's like us, kind of, if you think about it, right? Like we, Ruben Araneta was the founder of the party, and he brought me in, and we had a meeting with the owner, and Gino was there, and they were kind of selling me on the party, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's try it, right? It was a Sunday, and I walked the room, and I picked my table. And then I remember just like texting people and like telling people about it, and they're like, "You're crazy! It's a Sunday night. You're trying to go to a strip club in the upper. It's not the Upper East Side, but 60th and First.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's not an easy sell.
Yeah, because everything's downtown. Everything's 14th.
It's like out of nowhere.
Everything's 14th Street
if you
or
even
below.
if you even do something on 42nd Street in Times Square, they'll look at you funny, right?
I mean, that's
imagine,
that's horrible. Yeah.
So imagine trying to take people to 60th Street and First Avenue. You know what I mean? So it was just. We had a really good team with us, but I went out of my way to make sure, like we started as an industry party, right? We want to make sure industry supported, so I made sure that everybody from Tao Group, from Butter Group, from Catch, from whatever was going to come and support. I'd be like, I'm going to give you a table. At the time we had access to like sprinters and limos and stuff, and I would just like ask them to send them cars and pick them up. We would do dinners and stuff, right? I would go to Bounce and just like have the promoters just all get into Sprinter. I'm like, you guys are coming. I'm going to get you guys dinner. And that's how we started. It was very guerrilla. And then it's interesting because people come there now and they see this party with, this celebrity or this, it's packed party.
Yeah.
And they have no idea what it took to like even get close to this party. So, it's very, I'm proud of it, I'm very I take a lot of pride in that because it wasn't easy, and I'm the only one still there for the party, and Crooked's been there from the start, and you've seen it. So
yeah, I've seen it. It's like grown so much, but like honestly, like this year it just became mega.
Yeah,
we're to the point where like I would walk to the rope, there'd be some people coming in, maybe like 20 or so.
Yeah.
Now when I walk to the rope, I can't even get to the rope.
It's crazy.
It's like I'm in front of like Marquee or Avenue or like One Oak, and I'm like I have to push my way to the fucking front.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
We had it like that at a certain point. Like after we got it really started for the first year or two, and then we had like a line down a block, and like, and then people couldn't get in, and then other Sunday parties came up, and they kind of took a lot of our crowd.
Right.
And then for a period, it was just kind of like dead. Like, back then we had like Lil Jon, and we would definitely have a lot of you guys and Five and other people from the West Coast come, and Vice would be in there, Ruckus, you name it, right? We had all the top open format guys in that room, and then at some point we just kind of like let it just ride out, and it was, to me, I was not motivated to do that party like pre-pandemic. For the last 2 years that I was involved with it, I was like, I'm just gonna come. It's like I was just going through the motions, like I was like, these DJs that we have, I'm not excited about it. But then when we had the initial discussions this past summer to restart the party, we were like, when do we do it? They were initially doing it in September, and then they're like, what do you think about July? I was like, I'm ready right now. I think if we do it right now, like, it's gonna go crazy.
Well, you cornered the market for like hip hop on a Sunday.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, and they've credit to them. They've put a lot of money in terms of acts.
Yeah,
they've had Fabulous, Jadakiss, Fetty Wap,
You had Jadakiss before he did the
verses.
Before his rate went up.
Yeah.
Before the verses.
Before his rate went up.
You got him right before.
Yeah, right for his exactly right for his rate.
Yeah.
Right for his rate.
He was yesterday's rate.
Yeah,
yesterday's
rate. Ha Fat Joe.
He was literally yesterday's
price.
Yeah. He murdered it.
Wait, was it before the first verses he did versus Fabulous, or the one?
It was
before the Dipset one.
No, the Dipset one, right? It was the Dipset one, the big one where he fucking blew his shit out.
Yeah.
The Dipset one.
But Fabulous was actually hosting the same night as him.
Mm-hmm.
So, every night, like every Sunday, it's interesting. I mean, we have celebrities in there all the time.
Yeah, I sometimes when I go in, it's crazy because I remember going in and when it first started, they had these rules for the DJs where like you had to play 3 minutes of a song.
Oh, they don't do that no more.
Wait. So we would have to DJ
for the dancers, right?
Yeah. First of all, we were DJing on the side. We were like in this like off to the side where the lighting guys were, and we were DJing, and we had to DJ 3 minutes for every song because that's how long the lap dances should have been.
Minimal 2 minutes. If you didn't do 2 minutes, the lighting guy will come up to you, or the house mom, whatever it is, they would be like, "You're
fucking up." Yeah. So like if you couldn't quick mix, you couldn't do like. You couldn't. You had to play.
And it was
like a set.
It was counterintuitive because like, why are we paying these like guys X amount of money
to DJ like an iPod?
Exactly, to DJ like an iPod.
Yeah,
like it was probably you're just sitting there for like a minute, 2 minutes, be like,
it was cool because they would pay me really well.
You could probably go to the bathroom and like have a shot at the bar, come back, switch it, go back. I mean, like
we got fucked up. Yeah, we were
we got rid of that thankfully because we installed a timer on the screen.
So when you go in the club now, right?
It's a clock.
There's like there's all these screens like that's like LED screens and shit, and then there's a little clock on the side of it that's like 8 minutes. It counts out every 10 minutes.
It goes to 10 minutes. And it's just for the girls to like see
time. How long they're gonna shake.
Yeah, and yeah, and I get asked that all the time. Like, what's that thing? I was like, it's for the dancers.
Yeah, because it looks like something's about to happen.
Yeah. It's like some lost shit, right? What's the timer? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Jesus. But now it's like a crazy hip hop party.
Yeah,
and like it's nuts because it's like usually strip clubs don't let you have your phone out. They don't let you do social media,
right?
Because there's naked shorties there. Right. Like here, it's like you could do.
It's welcomed actually.
Yeah.
At 11 they let you do that too. For the most part, if you have a table on the dance floor,
but isn't that more like a club?
Well, I mean, it's
then
Sapphire's
kind of known as a strippy,
No, 11 is a strip club. 11's
Oh,
11's a strip club in the middle.
11's a strip club. They started just doing ill ass fucking parties.
Yeah,
I think it really blew up when like Drake fucking hosted. I think Drake did a night one there, and that was like it was a wrap.
Has James Harden gone into Sapphires?
Yes.
How crazy is that? He's known to be like
he's been there. I mean, everyone's been there. J Balvin's been in there. Like a lot of athletes have been there for sure.
Oh, okay, because I heard that James Harden used to just blow half of his paycheck.
He doesn't drink, by the way.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't drink, but he loves women.
He just loves the strip.
Loves women.
What athlete doesn't love women?
I don't know.
No,
it's a broad fucking statement.
Yeah, James Harden loves women.
Let's start talking about Jordan.
Pippen and Oakley.
These motherfuckers. Let's talk about Pippen. This motherfucker ran through everything.
All these.
Your fucking athlete list must be crazy, right? In New York.
Do the baseball players go in there? Because they have the most money.
No, baseball players don't go out.
Oh, okay.
They don't go out. Football players go out. Hockey players go out. Basketball players, not so much because they're so tall. You know what I mean? Like,
what does that
they stand out.
Yeah.
But I mean,
can't blend in with everyone else.
I remember one time I brought this 7-foot center there, and he wouldn't sit down. He kept on standing up, and he was like
towering.
I'm like, yo,
it's bigger than the pole.
Yo, you gotta sit down. Like, and he was so tall that even if you sit down, he was still like pretty tall.
His legs were like up to your chest.
So like guys like that, you got to put in the VIP section
stupid,
so people don't see him. Mm-hmm. Like if James Harden's there, he's not in the gem pop. Yeah, he's got to be like in the champagne.
Yeah.
I mean, I one time I brought Zac Efron there, and I brought him to my table. And if you know my table, it's in the middle. And I was like, this is not going to work. You know what I mean? Because people started stopping and taking a look at it, like, is that? And then, you know what I mean? Like, no, we have to go to Champagne. Like, we need security around us. Mm-hmm. So
Damn, he had High School Musical in there, bro.
Yeah.
It's actually a really like, it's a dope party, and I've seen it like grow since like over the past 8 years. Because I even told him like, yo, James, why are you promoting at a strip club, fam? This is a bad look in New York. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
it's weird. You change people's perception, and you know, Sapphire probably didn't have a lot of people that used to go there that go there now because of what the party has, you know, done to the place.
It was weird because I would go in the beginning and I would see James with his fucking models at the table and then strippers, and I'm like, yo, what? This is weird. This is like, and the models were even a little uncomfortable in the beginning because they're like
half naked chicks.
Yeah, but obviously by the end of the night they're fucking buying lap dances and shit. But
you know, it's an industry party, right? And the last thing you want to do with an industry party is have it at a club, because if it's at a club, then people think that they're at work. I would feel like I'm at work. Yeah. But if you're at a place that's unfulfamiliar, which is hopefully a strip club, maybe not for
something
Crooked.
Different.
Crooked lives at one. But like, you know, if you had a strip club, right? Then people automatically feel less like
let
you
down
know,
a little,
more loose, right? Yeah. So when people like, the best thing for me when I go out is to see people have fun. Yeah. When I see, like, you see the people's eyes and their energy, you're like, this is great. This is amazing. It's an amazing feeling. Just like when you're DJing, you know the crowd is into it. You're like, this is you get a euphoric feeling. And I feel the same way when I throw a dope party and I see dope people there and they're just enjoying themselves. You know.
Well, don't you think,
especially industry people?
Don't you think New York needed something different like that? Because you would even tell me like, we would have these conversations and you'd be like, yo, these models and all this younger gen, they don't want to go to fucking nightclubs. They don't want to go to the bottle service spots.
It became like definitely like played out. You know, people like, again, people from our era, when we used to be able to get into places, it was like, yo, you got into that place. It was so cool, right? You felt so honored. Yeah. Right? You're like, oh, I went there. And then slowly somehow it's like, oh, you went to a club? Ew, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but that's whack.
But don't you think it also had to do with everyone comping bottles and like trying to
get it got watered down for sure. Right? The market got watered down.
Like, how long ago you think this started happening?
Oof.
Oh man,
5 years,
more than that. Yeah. Probably
2012 maybe.
There was a point where I would go back to New York and I'd be like, this is whack. Yeah. Like, New York is whack, and and the music was whack because all the music was coming from the West Coast in like the early 2010s.
Yeah.
And New York was not playing those records. Do you understand?
Oh, that's like Mustard era.
The Mustard era.
Ty Dolla $ign.
I would go to New York and I'm like, yo, they're fucking behind. They're still playing like PSA, Jay-Z, and I'm like, this is whack. Yo. Like, you know what I'm saying?
PSA
and they're still playing like house songs like, I just came to say hello, and I'm like, yo, I can't wait to get back to Vegas.
I'm hearing that a lot lately. So.
I know that's coming back.
Yeah, no, you're right. It wasn't creative. Like, you probably coming back home, you're like, this is whack.
Yeah, like, New York was behind. I felt like it was behind.
I think it definitely had this period of just nothing creative, right? Everyone was just trying to copy like what was cool before, and no one's trying to like change it up.
And then New York started copying Vegas, and I think when they started copying Vegas, right,
big room,
that's when it got played out, and everyone was like, I don't want to go to fucking
New York club. Look, there's two things that came from Vegas essentially, right? Lavo came from Vegas, and the new Marquee came from Vegas, right? Because you remember the old Marquee was like dark and sexy. It was like, it wasn't like it is now. You know what I mean? Not saying, whatever. I mean, I feel like everyone needs options, but like, for me, like I said, I've always liked smaller New York City rooms, right? I've always loved these Rose bars, the Blondes, the Old Gold Bar, like these places that are small and you could be tight with who you let in. And again, it is one of those things, because when you get in, you're like, oh shit, you got in?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we can say no to people because we can't have that many people in there.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like, in essence, a New York City place should be. That's the place that I like to be in. That's the place that I like to work at. Because you can go in, you could be like, yeah, like, there's a dope crowd in here. There's good music in here. And like, as a DJ, you can play more intimately, I feel like.
If you want to check the full episode of this clip, click the video on the left. Or if you'd like to continue watching more R.O.A.D clips, click the video on the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new clips and videos from R.O.A.D Podcast throughout the week. Peace.